and visibility around the clock. It also saves us cost as well as up to 15% of our IT team's time, thus allowing us to focus more on growth activities. The future is clear for us now. Our 1,000 store is getting closer thanks to TM1 SD-WAN solution. We look forward to exciting possibilities that lies ahead.
Hi, I'm Tim Ken, and I'm the CEO for TK Canneries in Darren Berhad. With a lot of help from my supportive wife, we transformed my father's humble shop lot into a medium-sized factory in Rawang that can can anything. Then one day, I encountered a new challenge that changed everything for me. Running my business from home.
Did I leave it in the office?
Hey, Sam, have you submitted your report?
I'm booked for 2 meetings at the same time? How did this happen?
I can't imagine. This can't be possible. It can't be easy.
Running a business from home is a challenge. But then, my wife showed me something that just might work. I found the solution with Microsoft 365. Armed with Microsoft 365, let's see how much I can accomplish in one day. Attending meetings from home is now a breeze. I can share and collaborate on document edits in real time with my staff. Discussions with my staff can happen anytime, anywhere. Even when the surrounding environment is noisy. Just turn on live caption. Keeping track of tasks on hand of my staff is also easier with Planner. On the customer side of things, it is even better as now they can see my available time slots and book a business call with me. And thanks to Power Apps, we managed to develop a sales order app that monitors our inventory, update pricing, check sales order status, and load orders for our customers as well. Now, the team can get more done in less time. With my cannery business back on track, I'm now back to being the king of can.
UNIFI.
Hello. I used to be a real estate agent right out of college for almost 3 years. I quit that and I went over to work with Sneakers showroom, and I realized when I was working in real estate, I spent a lot of my money buying shoes at this particular shop. I am one of the first guys in Malaysia to look at all these shoes coming into the country, and I started blogging about the shoes, and that's how my website messes.com.my started. When I first got into sneakers, there was not much of a community per se because it's very scattered and there isn't a lot of chance for people in the community to meet up physically. I realized that as much as the internet brings us together, nothing can beat a physical interaction. So I think that's why Sneakerla idea was born. We planned for 10 tables just for friends. 10 grew to 20 and 20 grew to 30. By the time came for the event, we were at about almost 40 tables. Since Sneakerla is organized by masses, so we actually do a lot of content via masses in terms of shoe reviews, putting out news on sneaker drops and stuff like that. So actually we have a lot of content created throughout the year leading up to Sneakerla. So that's how we keep close to our fan base and also let them know what's happening. So we constantly have content coming out. Digital is the utmost important tool for Sneakerla. Try our very best to really go all out in terms of how do we market our event annually via social media. And I think our strongest platform is Instagram and second is Facebook. I don't think it's just an urban thing anymore because the internet has really made things so much reachable these days. When we first started the event in 2015, there were about 90% guys, only 10% females. And some brands contacted us and said like, hey, you know, I heard you guys are doing an event. How do I be a part of this? And we have to rent the ground floor of Lot 10 as well. Everyone was very supportive. And we had 17,000 people show up the first event. So 2018 just wrapped a few months back and 2.4 million ringgit transacted in Sneaker Lab 2018. And our event had 32,000 people. So that's pretty crazy. In terms of size, we are one of the biggest in Southeast Asia, and the goal is to get all these big brands, the global players, to look at Malaysia and go like, okay, I want to be a part of that. And when we are able to achieve that, then I think the culture and the scene would be very, very successful. I don't view other similar events as competitors, you know, like the more the merrier, because that way the scene gets an excuse to meet up again. The more we meet, the more united we are. We are like the best location to do it, and we just need to really push hard for the next 5 years to really bring the culture to the next level. What's important is when you do something, you have to understand that it's not just for yourself, and when you do something for the community will come out and support you, and that's what happened the past 4 years. We've been doing this for 4 years. You need to have a very strong mind and vision. When you see that vision 10 years from now, you follow that, you stick to your roots and don't get swayed. Like, stick to your guns, know why you are there in the first place. The route may change, but the destination remains. That's my 2 advice.
It all began with my grandfather who came from China. He opened a fruit store in Petaling Street. Later, the business was handed to my father. I started helping my parents when I was very young. What I remember most was following my father to the morning market at 2 in the morning. He would put me under the fruit cart to chop a place because who reaches first will get the best spot. I started working full-time in the business when I was 19. Back then, I would start my day at 5 a.m. at the wholesale market to buy fruits. Then, I would head to the morning market to start my business. From 12 to 3 p.m., I would bring my fruit cart to the office area to catch the lunch crowd. And in the evening, I would set up the store in the Pasar Malam until late night. Those were long and tiring days. But the worst were raining days because there will be no customers. And if my fruits got wet, they would spoil faster. It was challenging in the beginning, but I have a support from my mother. Son, to be successful, you have to work harder than everybody to be extraordinary. If someone works 8 hours, you have to work 16 hours. If they take Saturday, Sunday off, you work 7 days a week. So stay focused, don't give up. You will definitely see results in 5 years. I took this advice to heart, and with my interest in art, I was inspired to design my own logo. By 1997, I had expanded to 2 stores.
Hello bos, Ari, bagaimana sis kamu? Hari ini bagus lah bos.
And by age 25, I make my first million. Customer will always ask me, manis tak? And I was always reply, mestilah manis. money back guarantee. So MBG actually stands for money back guarantee. One day in year 2005, a regular customer asked if I wanted to open an outlet in her shopping mall. I was so excited. I say yes immediately. It's always my dream to expand in shopping malls. This was a way to take my business to the next level. Today, our business have grown from one shop to over 30 shops, with over 300 employees serving more than 4 million customers per year. Recently, we also expanded to Indonesia and reached our first outlet in Jakarta. What's the secret to our success? Hard work and determination, being open to change, the willingness to take risks, and of course, taking advantage of technology and digital tools to enhance our business. In fact, we engage our prospects through our online store and social media platforms. The digital engagement have not only strengthened our brand, it has also expanded our target audience and increased our sales. And to empower our staff, we use digital tools such as Business Insight to analyze and improve sales, accounting, HR payroll, inventory, and POS system to drive productivity and cost efficiency, GPS technology to improve delivery efficiency, and CCTV to monitor our warehouse and all our outlets 24/7. How do we excite our customers? We provide them with a wide variety of high-quality fresh fruits. We constantly engage with them online. We run frequent marketing campaigns on our social media platforms. And we offer a loyalty program which rewards our regular customers. If you believe in what you do, don't give up. Keep on trying. Remember, you must be bold enough to change and take advantage of new technology. Once you have a right partner and the right tools, you will go far. I'm Adnani, Managing Director of MBG, Money Back Guarantee Fruits. Innovate to dominate. Go digital.
In 1996, My News had a simple goal: to provide print news to people on the go. My News grew from a single newsstand to what is now the second largest retail convenience chain in Malaysia, serving over 200,000 customers a day.
We have come a long way, but we are just getting started. Our growth will continue as we increase efficiency and optimize our investments. It all starts with the network. We needed a more robust, scalable, and reliable network that could help us offer better services to our customers while streamlining their processes. From demand generation, optimizing supply chain, effectiveness all the way to the point of purchase.
TM1 chose Cisco Meraki infrastructure for their TM1 SD-WAN solution. This robust solution enabled MyNews to leverage secure and seamless connectivity to remote branches. These newly found capabilities opened up their world to new offerings, paving the way to increase customer spending and optimize their IT teams.
As we move to a cashless society, Meraki's security features, combined with its reliability and speed, gave us confidence to offer new payment gateways. The combination of payment gateway and a stable Wi-Fi connection for customers to use in-store increased sales at most of our outlets. We saw customers spending rise as they stayed longer in store. Our IT teams saw plenty of benefits from Meraki's cloud-managed capabilities and intuitive dashboards. They can now do all their troubleshooting and network management from anywhere, anytime. TM1 SD-WAN solution provided our network with a much-needed layer of security and visibility around the clock. It also saves us cost as well as up to 15% of our IT team's time, thus allowing us to focus more on growth activities. The future is clear for us now. Our 1,000 store is getting closer thanks to TM1 SD-WAN solution. We look forward to exciting possibilities that lies ahead.
Assalamualaikum dan salam sejahtera buat semua warga SME di seluruh Malaysia. Salam Mak Alhijrah. Belum terlambat untuk ucapkan salam Mak Alhijrah. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to UNIFI Business Solution with SME Digitalization Grant Launching and SME Empowerment Webinar. Alright. Kembali lagi bersama saya. Maaf ada gangguan sedikit sebentar tadi. Alright, Assalamualaikum dan sekali lagi salam kepada semua warga SME seluruh negara. Alright, salam Ma'alijrah. Masih lagi belum terlewat untuk saya ucapkan salam Ma'alijrah kepada semua. And ladies and gentlemen, again welcome to UNIFI Business Solution with SME Digitalization Grant Launching and SME Empowerment Webinar Series 4 kepada semua anggota seluruh negara yang dibawakan khas secara live melalui platform Microsoft Teams. Okey, bagi tak melengahkan masa lagi, saya ingin mengucapkan selamat datang kepada Encik Yusman Amiran, Head of SME Segment UNIFI, Puan Shaliza ada bersama kita juga, Encik Azmi, Encik Fendi, kepada semua State Head SME, SME Consultant dan HQ Team, Dan juga kita ada juga pelanggan-pelanggan yang dihargai pada pagi ini. Right, warga SME sekalian, sekali lagi saya ingin menegaskan dekat sini COVID-19 yang melanda negara masih lagi belum reda dan kita masih lagi belum menang. Dan di kesempatan ini saya ingin mengingatkan kepada diri saya sendiri dan juga frontliners di semua lapangan agar sentiasa berhati-hati dan menjaga SOP. Alright. So warga SME Seluruh Negara adalah yang terbaik dan hebat kerana usaha anda yang tidak pernah luntur untuk TM. Teruskan usaha anda untuk support dalam menyemarakkan lagi brand UNIFI di pelosok negara walaupun di dalam keadaan negara dilanda musibah COVID-19 ini. Okey, dengan ini sekali lagi saya ingin mengucapkan selamat datang kepada seluruh SME team, alright, bagi memberkati majlis kita pada pagi ini. Dengan ini saya menjemput Aidil untuk membacakan doa. Silakan Aidil.
Al-Fatihah. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Alhamdulillahi rabbil alamin hamdan yuwafi ni'matahu wa yukafi'u mazida. Ya Rabbana lakal hamdu kama yanbaghi li jalali wajhikal karim wa azimi sultanik. Allahumma sallim wa sallim ala Sayyidina Muhammadin salatan tujina biha min jami'il ahwal al-afat wa tahdilana biha jami'il hajat wa tutahhiruna biha min jami'il sajjanati wa tarwafuna biha indaka darajat wa tuballahuna biha aqsa khatamin jami'il khairat fil hayati wa badal mamat wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in. Ya Allah, ya Tuhan kami yang maha pemurah lagi maha penyayang, kami berhimpun pada hari ini berdoa, memohon rahmat dan hidayah darimu, sempena pelancaran bisnes pack kami yang terbaru, SME Digital Grant, khas untuk customer UNIFI SME kami. Ya Allah, ya Tuhan kami yang memiliki segala kemuliaan dan kekuasaan, kurniakanlah taufik dan hidayah kepada kami, restuilah perancangan kami, berikanlah kami idea bernas, bermanfaat kepada kami, agar kami terus berupaya membantu SME di dalam negara ini. Bismillahilladzi la yadurru ma'asmihi syai'in fil ardi, wala fis sama'i wa huwas sami'ul alim. Allahumma aslih ahwalal muslimin fi Palestin وفي كل مكان يا ذا الجلال والإكرام. ربنا أفخر عليهم صبرا وتبب أقدامهم وانصرهم على القوم الكافرين. اللهم مخر لهم وأفهم بما شئت. إن تنصرهم فلا غالب لهم وإن تقتلهم فمن دلت ينصرهم من بعدك. اللهم إنهم محلوبنا فانتصر لهم. ربنا آتنا في الدنيا حسنة وفي الآخرة حسنة وقنا عذاب النار. وصلى الله على سيدنا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه وسلم. سبحان ربك عما يصفون وعلى المرسلين والحمد لله رب العالمين.
Amin, amin ya Rabbil Alamin. Terima kasih Aidil atas doa yang dibacakan. Semoga dapat memberkati majlis kita pada pagi ini. Alright, without any further ado, I will invite now Mr. Yusman, the most handsome man in TM, to start this event with his keynotes and remarks. Over to you, Encik Yusman.
Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh, and very good morning to everyone. Terima kasih MC Saleh and PU Aidil atas bacaan doa tadi. Ladies and gentlemen, it gives me a great pleasure to meet all of you here today. This is a day I've been working forward to since rejoining the SME segment in March this year. A special day on which we will unveil a special package to assist SMEs in achieving rapid business recovery and improving business resiliency. Ladies and gentlemen, I believe a crisis presents a choice and opportunity. No one saw COVID-19 coming, and everyone did. No one was ready, and everyone was. The only way we have gotten this far is by working together, and it will be the only way going forward. We know that the pandemic has presented us with numerous and significant challenges. SME have always experienced financially and non-financial difficulties, and the pandemic has added new uncertainty about how to ensure business continuity. Work from home, virtual events like today, temperature scanning, contact tracing, digital vaccination certificate as a license to dine in or travel, and other changes have been accelerated as a result of the COVID-19 outbreaks. We have seen that companies who use digital services have handled the pandemic storm better by quickly shifting the way they work. As a result, we believe that business automation as a part of the digital transformation is essential for SMEs to deal with difficulties and exploit new possibilities. And that's why we are here today to collaborate with you SMEs on your digital transformation journey. There are many incentives introduced by government, started with Penjana, Prihatin, Permekasa strategic program to empower the people and economy, and the most recent Pemulih, People's Protection and Economic Recovery Package that was announced on 28 June 2021. We believe that with the implementation of these packages, Malaysian SME will recover gradually starting this year, in line with the country's overall economic growth forecast. Ladies and gentlemen, these stimulus packages will benefit SMEs because it focuses on supporting businesses in reducing costs, facilitating digitalization efforts, offering financial assistance, tax incentives, and employment incentives. Ladies and gentlemen, as SME, as we all know, play a significant part in the country's economy, knowing that SMEs account for over 98% of all business entities, generating more than 38% of country's GDP and more than 60% of overall private sector employment. Hence, it's crucial that SMEs are given all of assistance they need to recover from COVID-19 crisis. Ladies and gentlemen, in line with the Pemulih initiative, the government of Malaysia is providing a digital matching grant up to 50% of 5,000 ringgit per company to eligible SME to adopt digitalization in their business operations. As hashtag WeCare, we are here for you and we are committed in accelerating your business growth. And I'm very happy to announce that TM via UNIFI has been appointed as Technology Service Provider or TSP under this initiative, and we are offering great saving to SMEs through SME Digitalization Grant Campaign. Eligible SME will enjoy up to 50% off for our digital business solution and 30% for connectivity in bundle packages, as well as entitled for free training session to expand your business digitally. You may subscribe to this business solution from today till 31st of December 2021. As the People's Choice Brand of the Year, UNIFI has extensive experience in connectivity, convergence, and digital solutions. We continue our efforts to help SME in the current challenging situation. We have a dedicated SME team in every state to help you, as well as numerous programs such as seminar empowerment webinar series that you will be joining shortly after this session. As member of Unified Business Club, UBC, the largest SME community in Malaysia, you will have the privileges to hear about the program first. Follow us on social media, Unified Business Club, Facebook and Instagram. We hope with this initiative, it will help SME to be more resilient to face the new normal, be innovative to improve business performance, and directly boost SME's contribution to Malaysia's economy. Ladies and gentlemen, before I end my speech today, I would like to thank to all team members and our valued ecosystem partners such as Bank Simpanan Nasional, Microsoft, Nom Labs, and others who have worked very, very hard for the past months to create and develop this unified business solution with SME digitalization grant. With that note, thank you, stay tuned and stay safe. Hashtag kita jaga kita, hashtag kita digital kita. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh.
Thank you very much, Cik Usman, for the inspirational, for your words and keynotes. And I would like to invite you again to complete this launching, Cik Usman. All right, to complete this launching, Cik Usman, need to put your thumb at the scanner.
There's a scanner.
All right.
Sini.
Terbalik on your left side. Alhamdulillah, UNIFI Business Solution with SME Digitalization Grant launching. Grant telah dilancarkan dengan sempurnanya pada hari ini. Alright, I would like to invite to all of you to switch on the camera. So kita ada photo obsession pada hari ini bersama dengan Cik Usman and the team juga. Alright, so minta semua untuk onkan kamera untuk sesi bergambar pada hari ini. Alright.
So UNIFI.
Kena buat yang ni, UNIFI. Alright. So, 1, 2, 3, smile. Alright. One more, 1, 2, 3, smile. Kita buat. Alright, semua ready? Okay, 1, 2, 3. Alright, that's great. 1, 2, 3. Alright, thank you very much everyone. So, selesai sudah kita punya launching UNIFI Business Solution untuk pada pagi ini. Alright, now I would like to invite the most gorgeous woman in TM, Puan Shaliza.
Thank you very much, Saleh, for that compliment. Terharu pula. Alright, okay, I really appreciate the.
Betul. You dikenali dengan the gorgeous woman dekat TM. So nampak you aura tu ada. So okay ke pagi ni Puan Shaliza?
Okay, Alhamdulillah sihat. You apa khabar?
Baik, Alhamdulillah sihat. So I hand over this stage to you for the next session. So this session, webinar session series 4, or SME Empowerment Webinar Series 4. Okay. So now I hand over to you, Puan Shaliza, for this session.
Alright, okay. Okay, thank you so much, Saleh, for the opening remarks just now, and also for initiating the launching of the SME Digital Grant. So, Assalamualaikum and a very good morning, and again welcome to Encik Usman Amaran, Head of SME Segment UNIFI, and we have with us today 3 amazing panelists who will be accompanying us for our SME webinar, Empowerment Webinar Series. So first is Encik Sam Majid from MCMC, and then we have Encik Azian from BSN, and Mr. Wayne from Malaysia SME. And welcome also to our dearest customers and our SME team to our SME Empowerment Webinar Series 2021. And today's webinar is entitled Breaking the Barrier in Digital Transformation, And is it that easy? And the pandemic has hit the world hard, and many businesses are badly hit. However, the crisis enabled rapid technology adoption and accelerated digital transformation across the industries. Companies started leveraging disruptive technologies to deliver value to customers and enhance business growth and productivity. With consumers largely shifting to online platform and due to the pandemic-induced restrictions, businesses have also started building digital presence to cater to their audience. And realizing the importance of digital as a vital survival tool for SMEs, the government has introduced several digitalization initiatives for SMEs and micro SMEs under Pumule, and together with support from multi-corporations, including TM, to create an integrated ecosystem to empower SME to propel forward in digital adoption. And this webinar aims to address available support for SME via grants, programs, and solutions so that they can leverage on the assistance that will prepare the business to be more competitive and future ready. And don't forget, we have also amazing prizes awaiting you based on your questions. So the first best question will get a Samsung Galaxy Tab A7, and the second and third best question will get a wireless headphone. Okay, so without further ado, please allow me to introduce our amazing and very, very knowledgeable panelists. The first panelist is Encik Shamsul Izhan Abdul Majid, or also known as Encik Sam Majid. He's the Chief Technology and Innovation Officer at MCMC. Sam is a business technology leader with vast international experience in driving innovative growth across a diverse range of landscape, including transportation, utilities, logistics, telecommunications, and government. And at MCMC, Sam is responsible over the Commission's technology, innovation, vision, and strategies execution for growth while focusing on improving technological advancement. A regular public speaker, he has gained recognition with innovation awards from IDC, Apicta Malaysia, and iAwards Australia. And he holds a research master's and engineering degree from University of Melbourne, Australia. So welcome, Encik Sam Majid, an amazing profile and a very, very experienced panelist for today. And we also have Encik Muhammad Azian Abu Sama, the Vice President of Micro Business Retail Banking at BSN. Encik Muhammad Azian has started his career with banking industry in 1995, and he's currently working with BSN since 2010 as a Vice President in Micro Business Retail Banking Department. And with over 25 years of experience in banking industry, Encik Azian has various experience and knowledge, especially in micro business, credit operations, and retail banking. He has successfully introduced multiple impactful BSN micro business products throughout his career. And thank you, Encik Azian, for being our panelist for today. And our third panelist is Mr. Wayne Lim. Mr. Wayne Lim is the Group Chief Executive Officer and Chief Editor of Malaysia SME. Mr. Wayne has been actively involved with the micro, small, and medium-sized enterprise community for over 26 years. And he founded Malaysia SME Media Group in 2005 and subsequently conceptualized the Malaysia SME Media brand. He also founded Kongsi, a fintech setup that helps to improve SME's cash flow. Based on sharing economy concept, Kongsi is an alternative non-cash financing platform. And when he's not thinking and breathing SME, he is passionately engrossed in the game of football. And Wayne is an avid football fan and an FAM certified football coach. Wow. So welcome again, Encik Sam, Encik Azian, and Mr. Wayne to our webinar. So without further ado, I'll go to the first part of the webinar, which is about redefining digital transformation for SME. Now, digital transformation is no longer a buzzword. It is a necessity in business evolution. Initially, there is fear and resistance of this change, but now it is clear that we need to adapt. or become extinct. So let's address the main question here. Digital transformation, is it really that easy now? So I would like to pose the first question to Mr. Sam from MCMC. Perhaps can you start by telling us MCMC's vision on digital transformation, their impact towards SME, and ways for them to evolve to the next level of digital evolution? So over to you, Mr. Sam.
Good morning. Assalamualaikum, Puan Shaliza and Telecom Malaysia UNIFI team. So thank you for this invitation to be part of your launch. It's really inspiring to see Telecom Malaysia and the SME population working hard to get over the situation as we have for the pandemic today. What is MCMC doing in terms of digital transformation? You may have heard about my digital program that the government recently announced in February. It represents a digital transformation for the nation, which also covers the private industry and the government. MCMC is helping to realize this aspiration, which covers three main areas: people, process, and technology. The technology part is the easiest one because today you and I can see that a lot of our technology we have in our hands or the ones that we can buy off the shelf are getting cheaper. They are also based on some sort of a subscription basis. You don't need to pay upfront for a large amount. You pay as you go. And therefore, SMEs could easily adopt digital transformation easier and faster than ever before. However, it is a matter of mindset. Do you know what digital transformation is all about? It is predominantly to provide the opportunity for higher revenue, lower costs, and greater productivity. Therefore, to take the plunge, I would say SMEs should first look into the culture that you have at work and how do you then see the opportunity to include technology in the picture. Culture at work demands the need for a mindset shift towards greater productivity and efficiency. Always questioning what is happening in your organization today and look for ways to reduce paper, to improve productivity, and to also maybe question why are you doing the same process over and over again? Do you have an opportunity to adopt a new way of doing things? Mindset shift also requires SMEs to have internal leadership within each of your organization. And this leadership is needed to drive digital transformation, to drive the people from the situation today, what I call the as is, towards a vision of what you have for your organization in a to be state. Take advantage of your own agility and risk-taking ability. Most large organizations and government does not have the agility that SMEs have. So you should take advantage of that. And on top of that, due to my digital and also Jandela, which I will explain later, you have greater connectivity for you to reach out further and wider than ever before to promote and to make your organization more prominent to the eyes of your customers. Lastly, I would say that within your organization, you have the opportunity to instill future leaders of digital transformation so that the momentum as you embark on digital transformation is not a one-off. It continues faster and greater because you have internal champions that you groom early on that will take over from what you have today. And therefore, digital transformation is not just a phenomenon that you experience today, but it keeps on going over time.
Okay, thank you so much, Mr. Stem, for the enlightening sharing. So, what you have mentioned just now about how digital transformation can really help to drive revenue, lower the cost, and better productivity, something which is very useful, and it's a perk actually to the SMEs when we embrace the digital transformation and jump into the digital transformation bandwagon, and really MCMC has done a lot of initiatives and efforts to drive digital transformation and help the SMEs in making sure that they are also embracing digital technologies. Okay, and maybe I'll go to the second question, to Encik Azian. What is BSN role in spearheading government's SME digitalization agenda?
Okay, terima kasih. Thank you, Shaliza. Okay, first of all, I'd like to thank UNIFI team and TM for inviting us, okay, three of us, particularly for BSN, yeah, in participating into this, launching. Again, I would like to congratulate as well UNIFI to have this digital grant on board with you, as at today. Right. I think the word spearheading is too big, too huge for us to carry. Is actually. Let me start with the history of the digital grant. How, I mean, where this BSN, play the role. Our roles there. It's actually from the budget 2020. The government, through Ministry of Finance, has announced about 100 million annual budget for this initiative under digital matching grant, whereby BSN as an implementing agency together with MDEC is actually roll on this initiative under the budget 2020 is actually for 500 million and to 100 million per annum, right? So where is participation of BSN is actually again, I would like to stress it as an implementing agency whereby we are responsible or be mandated by the government to disburse this amount to the eligible micro or I would say the MSME, right, across the nation. We anticipate we anticipate to be to be benefited by 20 over thousand of MSME, to enjoy this grant facility. It is actually meant for an incentive, for SME to enroll themselves towards digitalization. Right? Nobody knows, just like I think earlier, Cik Yusman had mentioned that nobody knows this COVID is coming as well. I think is everything come such as like blessing in disguise, whereby the government has already initiated the digital incentive, and then come with this pandemic situation whereby now everybody also been thinking, yes, why should we have not gone into this digitalization, right? I think nobody have experienced it. Even we in the bank also have not experienced, never predicted this going to be this bad. I think everybody also now looking into what is the best solution for the business, or not only for the business. I think for the other government agency also, how for them to deliver the services to the public. I think mostly through this digitalization initiative. So in this case, it's actually MDEC and us in BSN have been collaborated very well, whereby MDEC will be agency function as to identify what's the area to be digitalized under this matching grant. And we as a disbursement agency is actually looking into who are qualified in terms of processing it, from scratch until disbursement. You know what I mean? So that's will be our function there. Yeah, Shaliza. All right. I think in
Thank you
terms
so
of
much. Yeah.
yeah, I mean, towards this session, we will tell who are actually how to apply, and we will come down into that in later part of the session.
Okay, thank you so much, Azian, for sharing that. I think BSN has done a very noble and plays a very important role in the disbursement of the grant. And we really would like to thank BSN from our heart on the cooperations and also on the efforts that being done to help the Malaysian SMEs by facilitating them with the financial part. In this aspect, because financial is very important in driving the digital transformation. And maybe to Mr. Wayne, you have been one of the strongest advocates for the SME sector through your publication. So can you give us a first-hand perspective of the barriers, challenges, and ultimately the mitigation that one needs to put in place to make this digital transformation journey as painless as possible? So over to you, Mr. Wayne. Yeah.
So I'll share as much as I have personally experienced, witnessed, and encountered throughout all these 26 years. So I hope that doesn't review my age. So for having engrossed so long in the SME industry. Firstly, good
You look
morning
so
to
young, so don't
everybody.
worry.
Thanks for the compliment. And good morning to my fellow panelists, Cik Samso and Cik Azian. So first of all, I concur with Cik Samso. What you have mentioned some key points earlier, right? So it's always about the mindset, and it's always about the culture. So what we have witnessed throughout the past years is there are many SMEs companies, especially the sizes SME companies. The leadership, they are always ready, right? They know the importance of digitalization. They want to embark on this journey, right? They want to be transformed as much as possible. But what we have seen, the usual setback or the barrier is always the workforce. Okay, the mindset of the people working in these SME companies. So what happened is if the companies they are not in IT industry, then it's safely to say that 90% of the workforce are not IT savvy, right? They are not from the IT industry. So that is where we have witnessed that the implementation has always been very tough, because like what Cik Samso and what Cik Azian has mentioned, right? So the service provider these days, the technology providers, they are providing better and better solution and easy to adopt. And there are a lot of plug and play as well. So solution is never a problem anymore, right? I've seen and I have myself have been using great solution. But now the people become a problem, because can you imagine if it's a successful SME company with long history of 20 years in the market, so and you know how SME operate, right? The loyalty to their employees. You can imagine that they have a lot of long-serving employees working with them. So these are the people who they might be from baby boomer generation. So if all of a sudden one fine day, especially when the pandemic hit us last year and the country went into the first lockdown last March, right? Even ASEAN, he mentioned, even BSN is a large organization, will make a lot of adjustment, adaptation from working from home, right? Suddenly, thousands of employees are being asked to work from home. This is where the struggle comes, you see. So this is, I personally feel that even my own organization, we encounter this problem. So then we realize that while the technology is good, the service provider is great, they have good solution. So our embassies these days and many of the SMEs, what my advice to them is, your embassies is now you have to not look for top down. You got to look from bottom up. So how is the remaining 90% of employee, they are going to accept this transformation? Because if they can accept the transformation, they are willing to go through the 3 months, 6 months of the implementation stage, right? The pain point of it, that will be fine. If they can't last 6 months, most of the time, the technology will then become a white elephant in the SME businesses. And many times we heard stories like the employee will start complaining that no, this is not the right solution, this don't work, that don't work. So a lot of investment that goes to waste, you see. So this is my first sharing based on what is happening now in the SME community. Over to you, Shaliza.
Okay. Thank you so much, Mr. Wayne. So basically, what you're saying is that mindset and culture is very important, so that we'll be able to ensure that digital transformation becomes a successful ambition for the SMEs themselves. Yeah, I totally agree with you, because technology is one part, but the people who's going to embrace it, who's going to work on it and making it happen, they need to also be open towards ensuring that the technologies that are being purchased and so on are being used to produce outcomes that are valuable to the SMEs themselves. Thank you so much for the enlightening feedback and sharing as well. So we'll go to the next part of the webinar, which is the support ecosystem which are available to the SMEs. And we have just witnessed the launch of an initiative to create an integrated ecosystem to empower SME to propel forward into digital adoption. So let's discuss on the support that available to the Malaysia SMEs, namely the grants, the programs, and the solutions that they can leverage on to be more competitive and future ready. So perhaps I would like to pose the first question to Encik Shamsul Izahan. So MCMC and its sister agencies such as MDEC and the parent ministry of KKMM have done a lot to support the SME sector. So please tell us from your perspective some of the programs and support the government via agencies such as MCMC that helps to break down the barriers to digital transformation. And please also elaborate on the support available that MCMC provides. So over to you, Mr. Sam.
Thank you, Puan Shaliza. My colleague just now, Mr. Azian, mentioned about MDEC, and MDEC actually works very closely with many agencies for grant distribution. However, MCMC works in a different way. MCMC is more on the regulatory and industry development. Therefore, I would like to emphasize to all SMEs the importance of a program called Jendela, which is also participated by Telekom Malaysia and many other telcos in Malaysia. Jendela's aspiration is to ensure that clients such as SMEs, your reach to your customers becomes wider and better over time. And it's like somebody building a highway for you as you are opening your shop. So in the past, in last year, before Jendela, Malaysia highway could only cover 4.9 million houses when it comes to fiber. And our 4G was only 25 megabit per second, and it only covers about 93%. That's our highway last year. But after industry consultation together with MCMC, there is now the concerted effort under the name of Jendela to expand this highway, which means that you as the SME, you would benefit, number one, the highway going faster and wider than ever before. In terms of numbers, the highway is going to hit about 7.5 million households as part of Jendela. So that's almost twice of the number of customers that you can reach. Number two, the speed that you can reach from today about 25 megabit, it is aspired to be 35 megabit per second. So therefore your speed for revenue and productivity increases from 25 to 35 megabit per second, and also coverage where it's aspired to have 97% versus the 93% of 4G coverage. So therefore more of your customers will be visible to you, let alone maybe you want to also expand your own businesses across Malaysia. Bear in mind, the program like Jendela is also happening around the world by other countries, by MCMC equivalent in many other countries, Thailand, Singapore, US. So therefore, your coverage to expand your products and services is expanding by the day. All you need to do is have the mindset to be on top of this. What this happens, how this is obvious to you is that you notice in the last few years, when you buy a fridge, when you buy a TV, when you buy a vacuum cleaner, these are now gadgets that have internet connectivity. Dulu, 10 years ago, when you buy a fridge, it's just a fridge. When you buy a vacuum, it's just a vacuum. Now a vacuum cleaner has Wi-Fi. Now a TV has Wi-Fi. So SMEs must take advantage of this. These are all vehicles and products that you can leverage on, not only to increase your productivity at work, but also for your own customers to see your presence on these platforms and all this ecosystem. So I also need to mention that Jendela is not just about 4G. Maybe you have heard about 5G, and 5G will ride on top of Jendela. And 5G is very important for more equipment and more automation, more robots, and more machinery to be connected to this highway. And when they are connected, they will perform work and automation faster than ever before. Therefore, if you are an SME in the area where you want to reduce low value repetitive work, you should consider adopting 5G when it's available to you from end of this year onwards. You should consider using 5G and the automation and the robotics and the various use cases that are available for you to reduce the dependency on low value repetitive tasks. You allow a robot to do robot work and don't make humans do robot work.
Okay, thank you so much. Yeah. Sorry.
Yeah,
Okay,
pass the floor. Sorry.
Oh, okay. Thank you so much, Encik Shamsul Izhan, for that enlightening sharing. I think I totally agree that we do not make human being do the robot work, so that we should be asking the robot to do all this repetitive work so that we can focus on more productive work and generate more revenue and reduce more costs. And also, I would like to congratulate MCMC for the Jendela initiative, especially with the Jendela, you're able to now have more houses being connected, and like from 4.9 million to 7.5 million, and that would definitely, as Encik Shamsul has mentioned, would definitely help the SME to reach out further to a larger population of Malaysia for their digital journey, especially in digital marketing and so on. Okay, and talking about digital marketing and so on, this is part of the digital grant. So I would like to pose a question to Encik Azian, where BSN has several financial products that support SME sectors in their digitalization journey. So can you tell us a little bit more about these products and some of the non-monetary support available to SME by the SME? So over to you, Encik Azian.
All right, thanks again. All right, going back to this, our journey in this digitalization matching grant is actually for information of the rest is actually, as at today, we have already granted nearly 30,000 in terms of digital grant. Where this number come from is actually from the participating TSP. As at today, I think we have about 500 plus TSP already on board. Together with our all the telco, including UNIFI or TM, right? This is actually is what I mean is that a good turn-ups is actually from the public is actually after realizing that how important is this digital, adopting digital to the business, right? So apart from that, okay, apart from that digital matching grant which be managed by BSN, we also again be mandated by MOF, to provide financing from the package granted to us up to 800 million already been disbursed through the first Prihatin as well as Penjana. Now coming to the latest one, going to be Pemerkasa, about 300 million. So in total, is actually BSN have already managed about 1.1 billion to help or to assist all the affected MSME throughout this pandemic situation, starting from March 2020. So as far as this product is available, is currently, I think we have already ends our Prihatin and Penjana, where being benefited by 24,000 MSME altogether, and then now come with this Pemerkasa, whereby we have already put it on shelf 5 product under Pemerkasa actually. This on top of the digital matching grant, which is meant to incentivize the SME to go for digital. Let's say, of course, when you go for digitalize your business, of course, you need some cash injection as well, to help to boost the business. So this is where Pemerkasa financing scheme will I think will be needed by them as well, right? At this moment, financing maximum up to 50,000, basically for capex and also opex purposes is actually. How to apply is actually basically is very simple. It's actually meant to assist this MSME, whereby you only need to provide us with about a 3-month bank statement, and also your business registration, and together also the IC of the owner of the business, right? So from there, I think you will go to a website and to apply. Then again, we also in the bank also we learn from experience throughout this COVID period. Initially during Prihatin and Penjana, we only apply a conventional way of application. Go to the branch, go to the over the counter, fill up the form and apply. But looking into that scenario whereby we receive, unprecedented number of application, throughout last year. So we've been thinking, is there any way that we can improve our service level? So we have put like online application. Means that anybody who interested to apply, they just go to our website and look for the business section and then go there to fill up, and not only fill up the form there, but also you can upload document required. And then our guys will, from there will call the customers or the applicant and how to go about them. So I think there's another way how we also I can feel that how digital can help in our service level as well. Apart from that, I think throughout the period in this matching grant, initially there are some adjustments being made over the period of 12 months. That's why we have received number about 30,000 SME now is enjoying this matching grant. Because earlier we thought that we need so much requirement from 2 years in business, and then we slightly enhance it to only 6 months in business, from a requirement of 100,000 annual turnover required, so that we cut it down to only 50. Still some people say 50,000 annual requirement for turnover is high. It's actually, from my own experience, I've been sitting with one burger stall, from a guy, next in my neighborhood. I asked how much is actually you can sell every day, how much. So he said that about 300 pieces a day. I think you just imagine if the minimum of 2 ringgit, for 300, 600 a day, I think times into 30, I think easily, I think we can have like more than 6,000 a month of sales. So I think it's enough to make up an aggregate average sales turnover of 50,000. I think a lot of things that I think we have received a feedback from a customer on how to make things easier for them to enjoy this matching grant initiative. That's make the number, yes, I know that there are a lot of browsers down there at the beginning of these processes, but now I think most of them have benefited them from now. And then with the participation of telco as well, whereby this digital grant and this all the solution basically need connectivity. Without that connectivity, and then there's some hiccup there, because this digital offer needs some communication as well. So I think with the participant of telco, including TM, of course, have enabled more and more SME, to go into digital. So I think that's about it from us. In terms of non-monitoring, of course, BSN as the leader for MSME is actually always been engaged with a lot of association and business association as well. I think Mr. Wayne Lim also, I think we also been engaging with each other. In terms of association, and then to talk about what is available on shelf is actually where can help or can benefit the MSME. And then we also provide training for outreach program in our outreach program, together with association and also institute. I will say that with InScan, to continuously providing advisory kind of thing to upscale or to look into what is the business need. And then with all this feedback that we receive, we keep on improving and feedback it to the government as well. What are required, what needs to be improved further in terms of delivering this grant or any government initiative throughout the period. That's about it.
Okay, thank you so much, Azian, for the amazing sharing, and congratulations to BSN for the noble efforts to help SMEs so that they can drive their digital transformation, and they have the right financial support to pursue their revenue growth and so on via digital. And also well done to BSN for embarking on the digital journey to improve the service level. And so to all the SMEs out here in this webinar, do leverage on these initiatives so that you can help propel your business further. All right, so we have the next question for Mr. Wade. Malaysia SME has been the voice, the conduit, and the key proponent for the SME sector. So can you share some of the support that you have seen from the private sector for SMEs, primarily from the local and international MNCs, GLCs, and the like? So over to you, Mr. Wade.
Thanks. So the support has been overwhelming over the years, especially during this pandemic time. Yeah. So because most private organization, even the government, knows that the SMEs, they need a lot of help. So this is where the made from the government institution level or agencies level. So there have been many types of grants, right, offering to the SMEs. So even by BSN alone, Encik Azan has mentioned, right? The disbursement is already like what, more than 800 million, benefited over 24,000 SMEs. Then there are other various agencies as well. So what happened here is, I think I have no doubt that the supports are great, overwhelmed. There have been variety of the digitalization grants and the rest of the offer coming from various sectors, yeah, whether being government sectors or the private sectors. So, but one thing that I would like to very much highlight, especially to the SMEs themselves, is to do a lot of evaluation first before they actually accept any form of this support. Because what we have personally, through our observation, we realize one thing: when all these grants or soft loans or whatever, when it's available, there will be a lot of hype about it, right? So there will be a lot of marketing done, right? Especially when government needs to partner the private sectors, the software providers and all that. So for the private sectors, this is business, right? Because the grants are there. So the SMEs, either they did not need to fork out a single cent, or they just need to match it. So it means the investment or the cost involved from the SMEs is pretty low. So this is where they use a lot of social media marketing or even cold calling to reach out to the SME and telling them that, oh, this grant is available, this grant is available. You can now purchase this software, or you can subscribe to this software, right, for almost free. So then this is where I realized that quite a significant of SMEs, they don't really know what they exactly want, right? Because since it's free, after all, it's free. So they grab very quickly with both hands, you see. So this is where I personally feel that all parties need to be responsible, because while government spend or invest a lot of money onto helping the SMEs to go to digitalization, right? The SME themselves, they need to be responsible of using these government grants, because these are ultimately money that must be wisely spent or invested by the government. So then only the whole nation can achieve that digitalization level of adoption, you see. So otherwise it's meaningless. So I must again highlight this very, very strongly to the SMEs, right? Not because it's almost free, then they must actually grab with both hands. See, evaluate first. I mean, let's go back to the point number one, right? When Samso mentioned, right? The leadership first, right? The leaders must understand, why do we need all these softwares for? How is it going to help our businesses, right? Use the grants wisely, because they don't have many opportunities for that, right? Because the government will not be giving them free grants and to subscribe or purchase software. So make sure they do know what they want. So if they are not sure, my advice is always that talk to a professional and reliable IT or software providers, right? This must be a responsible and professional party, that they are, these are the people who they are willing to help the SMEs, the leadership or the entire organization to do a thorough assessment. Exactly what does the organization need, right? Because a lot of times, I mean, sorry to say that, I don't mean to offend anybody. Quite a number of SME businesses, especially the successful business owner, we are not that IT savvy after all, right? We might be good entrepreneurs, right? A good entrepreneur doesn't mean we are good in everything, right? When it comes to IT adoption, digitalization, that doesn't mean we are the expert in it. I mean, we need to listen to real experts. Let the real experts give us a thorough evaluation and assessment and let us know exactly what our organization needs to embark on this journey in order to make sure it is implemented successfully. Thank you. Over to you, Shaliza.
Okay, thank you. Yeah.
Sharliza, just
Yeah.
to add to Mr. Wayne Lim said just now, because
Yeah.
I think at our end also we are facing some issues as well, what we highlighted by Mr. Wayne Lim, whereby the entrepreneur themselves is actually, while we are processing the application, right, didn't know is actually what they really, because we have to do some verification during processing. That's why I think there are some people say that we may take a bit of time to ensure that this goes to the right person. I mean, the right entrepreneur who are, really want themselves to be digitalized. As what we always discuss with the government themselves, actually, BSN or we in BSN need to process it to the eligible who are really want it, because this is not purely subsidization kind of thing. This is actually incentive. Incentive means that the entrepreneur needs some investment so that to be top up. That initiative, that noble initiative to go digitalize, to be helped, to be assisted by some incentive being, add to them by the government. That's why during our processing, we found out that they are not really sure what they want, because in the form they will say that they will go like home remote working kind of solution, that kind of thing. So of course, to say so, what is it remote working? Because we just have like 7 pillars all together there: remote working, e-commerce, marketing, HR, and procurement, and some other things. But that is actually what been approved between MDEC, MOF, and us. So that's why some of them, let's say that is free. Why not? Or something like that. It's actually not. It's actually, you have to have that, the intention must be noble as well, because this is actually meant for those who really want it to go to digital, because this aspiration is actually should not end there. It should be, moving forward. It's a kickstart for them to move forward to go into digital environment. Is it okay that Mr. Wayne Lim, right, that
Yes,
what we
right,
actually
rightly
discussed?
mentioned. And thank you
Right,
for
right.
doing the verification work, right? Well done, because otherwise, so that our taxpayer money will be just spent
Yeah,
unnecessarily.
yeah. That's our job, because I think our part is actually, when you hold the money, you feel that responsibility is huge to you, because at the end of the day, people will ask, where does the money goes? At least I would say that yes, we have interviewed this group of people. They said they want it. It is this, and then it goes to that. Rather than you just disperse it to anybody. Which you also don't really, because the communication must there to establish some verification. That's actually the most important part in our processing, in dealing with this. In delivering the grant to the needers. Right. Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Azian, and also Mr. Wade. I think thank you so much to BSN as well for the verification. And I totally agree with Mr. Wade that it's very important for us, for the SMEs, to validate, to understand what they want first before they subscribe to any of the solutions offered by the grant, so that whenever they subscribe, whatever they purchase is something that's aligned with their business aspiration, with their growth aspiration, so that they do not purchase something like just now, Mr. Wayne and also Mr. Sam mentioned about the mindset where when the workforce are not ready to use it, then we purchase something, but then the workforce are not using it, it becomes a white elephant. So it's very important for the SMEs out there to really know what they want, to talk to people, to evaluate, so that then they will be able to purchase something which is very meaningful that would add value to the business. And definitely in TM, we are also there. We are also here to help the SMEs. So they feel free to talk to any of us, because we are here to facilitate the SMEs and to mentor them if there are any further inquiries and so on. And so we have ended the second part of the webinar. Thank you so much to all the panelists for the amazing answers, very, very useful feedback. So we'll go to the next part where we're going to share with you some visual slides on the digital grant, and also introduce to all of you the people who you can contact to get more insights on the solutions that we have that can help all of you to grow your business better. All right, thank you so much. So let's have a look at the digitalization slides. Okay, so just now we have shared a list of the solutions that we have under our grant, and also the list of SME consultants and state heads who will be able to help to facilitate you to make decisions on which are the solutions that will help you to drive your business growth in a better way. So do contact them if you have any further questions regarding the solutions that you think that will be necessary for your business and so on. Okay, so we'll go to the next part, which is the live questions from the audience. And do share your questions, do ask your questions, and the best question will definitely get a prize. So the first question is from Muhammad Faizul from Singers Technology. So is Encik Muhammad Faizul here? If it's here, then perhaps you can, open up your mic and ask a question.
Yes. I
Yeah,
am.
thank you.
Hi,
All
hi.
right.
Thank you so much for the brief. It was pretty good talk. So the question I have for Encik Usman is going to be, since there's like so many SMEs, right? Because 100 million grant, then you're looking at 20,000 SMEs per year. So how TM and together with Unify, how many SMEs they are planning to basically digitalize their operations, and also second question is that about the mindset and culture we discussed on just now, right? So how TM is helping SMEs to break those the typical the typical challenges experienced by businesses to digitalize their operation. Yeah.
Okay, thank you, Encik Muhammad Faizul, for the question, and I pass the baton to Yusman for your sharing.
Shaliza supposed to answer this question, Win.
So nama dah
Thank you.
tulis Encik
Thank
Yusman
you.
macam tu.
Thank you. Thank you from our customers, singers just now asking. For information, we have more than 370,000 SME customers, and that they are also our Unify Business Club members. As you asked me, how many of them, I would like if everyone, all those SMEs adopt the technology, like what Wayne mentioned, like what Azian mentioned, what Sam Majid mentioned, how important digital to SMEs. So we're going to utilize all our channels to reach out. Yeah, it's not when we just highlight the solution, but more importantly, how the solution can help the SMEs. Example, when we introduce 3 solutions just now, one is on Office 365. This is the basic digital that you need to have with the OneDrive, the storage there. You also can do Teams meeting like this, and this is a familiar application that SME want to use. So that's one. Second solution, we have digital marketing. Like it or not, when one of the things actually SME need helps how to do digital marketing, to do the proper branding, how to shout in the digital media. So that's also part of our services. Not only that solution we give to them, but we also provide trainings, like you mentioned just now. Yeah, the resources to address or even to use the digital solution, probably they don't have it. That's why we have two concepts. Yeah, one is DIY, do you do it yourself, or DIFY, do it for you. So our digital solution is actually we have the team to do a digital solution for you. That's a part of services that we offer under this digital grant. On the mindset, I believe Wayne and the team will answer that question. Sam Majid will also able to answer the question. But I would like to conclude on the 3 items that very, very important for SME. I always use this as my conversation with SMEs, and also learn a lot from Mr. Wayne. We started our partnership quite sometimes, and now I still miss Mr. Wayne, your SME Congress. Since pandemic and COVID-19, we cannot able to have the physical Congress. I hope you can do the virtual SME Congress.
Sure,
Yeah.
Encik
So
Usman. I'm sure next year we can. Next year.
So we have 3 things, I think, 3 elements, 3 aspects that SME need to look into. One is a tool set. Tool set is actually what we are offering to you now under TSP. The mindset is where I think we are cooperating with all the agencies to provide, knowledge, access to knowledge. When you know about the digital solutions, then the adoption will be faster. That's from the mindset perspective, tool set and mindset. Plus the third one is very, very important as well, the skill set. So we know very well that, you mentioned just now the staff probably still business as usual, it's very hard for them to use the technology. That's why we're also building up the skill set or SME, but we work with all multiple partners in order for us to address the three main aspects in order for SMEs to accelerate digital adoption. So a little bit long in terms of answer, Shah, but I think hopefully it will answer question from our audience just now. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much, Yusman, for the enlightening answer. Anyone of the panelists would like to also share your views and thoughts on the question as well?
Sure, maybe I can add on to what Encik Yusman has mentioned. Yeah, so I would like to highlight this to all the SMEs. So because you see, telecom is a giant, right? It's just a big organization. Then of course SMEs are just the small little ants on the ground. So what happened here is, but we all know that like Encik Yusman has mentioned, right? TM also works with multiple channels, right? The service providers. So what happened here is there's always in between there's this great partners, the SMEs, they should engage first, right? And these are the partners, telecom partners, who they knows the telecom solutions very, very well, the TM solution, or the solution that is available by the TM. So instead of actually the SME just walk straight in and thinking that they know everything to a TM shop or whatsoever, the SME should get more engagement with the multiple partners that appointed by TM first, right? Always have this engagement and assessment and evaluation. When you do this enough, so a giant like TM, they have abundance of solution there. So which is then only the SMEs finally based on the good advice and evaluation, then make the final decision. And once the decision is made, right? So please take note of one important point. Once a software is being subscribed or purchased, that is not the end of it. In fact, that is just only the beginning of the very difficult journey. Because during the adoption and implementation, this is where the engagement with the partners, it has to be even more constant, because we always think that, oh, this is what we need, right? Okay, we have done enough evaluation, subscribe to this, we are done. No, because the needs of the operation changes all the time and software upgrades all the time, right? So this is where it's a long journey. I mean, it's a journey that it will never be ended. I mean, I founded this platform for the micro businesses called Gongxi, right? From the very first, I don't know nuts about, sorry for my language, I don't know much about technology. So I speak with my friend Encik Yusman. I spoke with a lot of people. But what's the conclusion? I still make this mistake, because by the time I spoke with all the great people, I got all the great opinions. But by the time when we implement it, but because when the partner only took all the requirement that we think we want, I gave the partners the instruction of what to do. I make that mistake. I shouldn't. I should have engaged with the software developer a lot more often, just like currently what we have been doing for the past 2 years. We have a great IT partner, a software developer. We engage all the time, right? And I always put myself as just an entrepreneur who knows nothing much about technology. That's why I always reach out to my friend Encik Yusman whenever I needed his help. And thankfully, he's always there for me, and he don't charge me a cent for that. Thanks. Okay, over to you, Shaliza.
Just to add on that, Shah, just to add on that, that's why engagement is very important. You notice just now we show all our SME consultant. We have our presence at all states. So this is a dedicated team that we assign to manage our SME customers and even engage with SME customer. So I would like, all SMEs out there, reach out to our SME consultant. They will help you on how to apply for the grant, how to use the solutions, and this will help, SME to accelerate, like I mentioned, the adoption of technology. The most important thing, like Sam Majid mentioned just now, it must help you to improve your productivity and to improve your profitability. So otherwise, it's not, it's just nice to have, but not helping you to push you further. All right. I think Sam Majid want to say something.
Yeah, thank you, Yusman. You read my mind. I wanted to say something. Just to add on all the pearls of wisdom by Wayne and Yusman and Azian. Perhaps I just want to highlight that most SMEs, including all of us in this call, we are all digital immigrants. We are not digital natives. The young ones that our kids and the ones born after 2000, I suppose, they are digital natives. And why I'm saying this is because for them, seeing the digital tools and when they use it is very different to how you and I are today using it. We find it a little bit difficult, like what Wayne was saying. We need assistance from consultants and here and there. But when it comes to the digital natives, they hardly open the manual for the software. They just use it straight away. So what I'm trying to say here is that around us, including around all of you, the SME industry, you have young people, whether it's your family members, whether you are in the community of young people. I would say you invite them, be part of your ecosystem of understanding what technology can do. And you are, by you doing that, you are preparing your workforce for the ecosystem that these young people will be part of. So have them in the process of designing the digital transformation that you are wanting to do. And fair enough, you may be very scared that you are asking a 24-year-old guy or girl to actually take the lead. But you must have confidence that these people are natives versus all of us as immigrants. So for us, it takes 5 steps. For them, it takes 1 or 2 steps. So you will be surprised at the outcome that you will achieve, because again, technology is just an enabler. It is not the final answer. The final answer relies with human beings, people like us, and also our younger generations. They are more risk takers. They are more willing to actually take the baton and run faster. However, they will require support and confidence from leaders of SME and leaders such as us here.
Okay, thank you so much, Encik Jamsul, also from Mr. Wayne and Encik Azian, and also Yusman for the sharing just now. I think so we have to start engaging the digital natives so that we'll be able to learn from them and make the most from their knowledge and their savviness, yeah, because when they are born, when they're even younger, they're born with iPad and so on, so they really know how to use technology and make the most of it, so we can really embrace their knowledge and their risk-taking appetite, so they'll be able to move forward together. And also we'll go to the next question. So the next question is from Encik Shahizan from Putra and Associates. So the question is posed to Encik Shamsul. So is this digital business transformation initiatives aligned with current cybersecurity effort? So maybe Encik Shamsul would like to take this question. Okay, so maybe I'll repeat the question again. This is from Cik Muhammad Shafizan from Putra and Associates, where the question is to MCMC, to Encik Shamsul, where is this digital business transformation initiative aligned with cybersecurity efforts? Okay, I think okay. All right, so we're here. We're back here. Yeah.
So you can hear me now?
Yes.
Yes, can.
Okay, I think we had a technical issue just now. Okay, the short answer.
We can't hear you again. I think there are maybe some issues, technical issues.
Yeah, can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Hello.
Yeah, can.
Okay, the weakest area of cybersecurity is not technology. The weakest area is human. We are very susceptible to receiving email that your boss gave you a bonus. Please open this email. We are very happy to receive email, to buy the next computer 75% off. So these are the weak areas of cyber security, not the technology itself. So therefore, as for SMEs, you got to understand that you need to educate your employees and also yourself of the weaknesses of humanity when it comes to usage of technology. Don't be fooled by it's too good to be true kind of emails. In particular, emails. There are many other forms of cybersecurity. When you put your USB stick into your computer and all that, those are things that technology are able to handle these days. But nothing can replace the human behavior, and sometimes the human behavior is the weakest link.
Just to add on that, Sam, cybersecurity is also my favorite topic. Yeah, when we talk about online, people are now scattered around. Our home is now become our office. So Sam, we have multiple branches now. Last time probably 10. Now when everyone work from home, become our branches. So the issue that we have today, since you work from home, how sure you are that you are protected? I always take this analogy that I shared it before with the team, right? When you want to enter your house, the taman, right? You have this guard that is the first, protection, right? Then they go inside near to your house. Then you have the gate, your auto gate. Then you go inside to open your house, another, lock, your door lock. So Telecom Malaysia, for example, you provide the network security. That's one. But like Samsung mentioned, the attack is not more on the external. The more the attack come from the internal by opening the email, by using the USB. So how to address this? This is why one is knowledge is very, very important. And there are multiple of cybersecurity cloud services that you can subscribe to. No, they have AI that can detect the attacks. You protect first before being attacked by all these cyber attackers. Right? So for me, like Sam mentioned just now, it's not only you need to protect yourself. Technology can handle that, but at least you also need to have protection and cybersecurity solutions to address the basic. Protection. Example, the connectivity, the endpoints, the device, and the discipline of not opening up the so-called email that you receive from anyone with giving you a lot of prizes that's attract you to open, and somehow it the attack come from the internal because you open that email, then the attack come from internal. So this is again another knowledge sharing that probably TM and Unify would like to do for the next webinar with regard to cybersecurity. We also will invite Sam example to share later on. But I noticed that cyber attack increased during the MCO based on the reports, right? So this is where I think it's more on knowledge sharing on how to protect your business from cyber attacks. Yeah, Shah?
Yeah, totally agree with both Yusman and also Sam, because I think one of the things that we also have to educate ourselves is what are the sort of attacks that would appear in our network, in the software that we're using, and so on, so that with knowledge we'll be able to prevent it further. Because otherwise, sometimes you just double click and then suddenly your computer is being attacked by virus or malware or something like that. So it's very important for us to educate ourselves so that we'll be able to understand how we can prevent the cybersecurity attacks, and also the solutions that we have. For example, Office 365 also have the protection at the software level, and as Isman has mentioned, is also there's a network protection level as well. So you're double protected. All right. Okay. So let's go to the third question. So the question is from Mr. Lim, and is to Encik Azian. So the question is, apart from the SME grant, what are the other areas of support that BSM provides to SMEs? And do you have any programs to help improve market access or digital outreach? So over to you, Encik Azian.
Okay, terima kasih. Thank you, Mr. Lim, for that question. It's actually apart from that, like I mentioned during the earlier session just now. Apart from this digital grant, is actually where BSN as an implementing agency to disburse to the eligible customers, right? But on top of that, we also, there's our financing is actually a financing scheme available, you know, and also be mandated by the government with, as I mentioned earlier, that 800 million been disbursed last year, and now we are also given another 300 million. This is actually to also assist in terms of financial support to the business that affected by this pandemic COVID. Yes, there are some processes involved in terms of identifying eligibility and so forth. But we have, as loosened up, not to say anybody, but I mean in terms of verification, still need to be done. Only that the requirement, for some instances, I can call it. We have pemerkasa mampan, so called. That's a specifically product design for the SME who are being impacted by this pandemic COVID, whereby is unable to prove any evidence of sales during the period, but they can only produce it. What is the commitment, monthly commitment that they normally need to pay? For example, rental and some salaries, maybe electricity bills. Just provide us that evidence. We can straight away give them, financing to the commitment, that obligation that the company need to incur for every month for next 6 months, up to maximum of 50,000. That is among other things, financial support being designed for this impacted SME. On top of that, also we have also a product for disabled, disabled entrepreneurs. Then we also have use, for belia, we call it belia, and also we have also for pemerkasanita. All this group is actually a specific group, throughout what we learn from Penjana and Prihatin. So we identify that this group also need to be to give attention more, because like say for the youth scheme, whereby this is the people is actually now is taking this opportunity to go down. With the recent employment rate, you see that I think this open up the opportunity for them to kickstart the business, with this all these financing facilities available. All right. Talking about Outreach Digital, we are working together with a few agencies that is actually, I think, next week to be announced somewhere. I think I don't need to mention it here, what I mean, whereby we are together with a few other agencies, to go to the rural area, to get all these SMEs out there, to be digitalized, not only for to digitalize the business. Also, I think there are also some advisory, or there I will call that a station, a one-stop center for them, to have some exposure toward this digital, and also to enjoy this grant as well. And perhaps if they need more, also financing be available there as well. All right. Is it okay, Encik Usman, that I'm not to mention it too soon to mention it here, right?
Yeah, you need to ask Sam Majid as well. This
Yeah.
that we're going to launch soon. And we will
Okay.
improve as well. Yeah. Okay.
So I hope that answer Mr. Lim queries. All right. Okay.
Yeah, I think definitely it helps to provide more enlightenment to Mr. Lim for on the kind of support that BSN is giving to the SMEs out there. And I would like to say well done to BSN as well for being very nimble and agile in helping the SME, because just like you mentioned that, from the learnings that you get from Penjana and Prihatin, that you start to establish new financial supports for SME, right? For the disabled entrepreneurs, for the youth, for belia, pemerkasanita. So those are very, very good initiatives that could also help to target specific needs of specific SMEs out there. So well done to BSN. Okay, so we'll go to the next. Yeah. So we'll go to the next question, which is to Mr. Wayne. So the question is from Encik Shah Badri, Malaysia Timber Industry Board. So Encik Shah Badri, perhaps if you're around, maybe you can turn on your camera and you can ask a question to Mr. Lim. Mr. Lim, Mr. Wayne. Tadi the earlier question was from Mr. Lim, right? So this one is to Mr. Wayne Lim, yeah. All right.
Okay,
So
thank you.
Encik Shah Badri, yeah.
Yeah, thank you. Assalamualaikum and selamat tengah hari. So my question is about the policy and the big chunk of the digital transformation is more on the government supporting enrollment and as well as private investment. So in terms of policy part, what is your how can policymaker best enable firm of all sides to embrace the digital transformation, and what policies are proving to be effective? Because currently, the opportunities and challenge faced by different firms implies that some are successful in seizing the benefit of digital transformation, whereas others are not. This is come from other country with business environment that enable this process, including by easing access to strategic resources such as finance, skill, knowledge, asset, may be better able to seize the benefit from digital transformation than country where such changes are more difficult and slow. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Encik Syahbadri. Maybe Mr. Win would like to share your views.
Sure. Thanks very much for the question. So in my point of view, right, so I would believe that because we have quite a big governing machinery, right? I mean, our government is formed by many ministries and agencies. So what happened here is throughout the years, we have noticed that there is no very concrete concerted effort that all parties should always channel all the feedbacks from the ground together to the main implementing agency. And from there, the main implementing agency should be the lead into doing all this. Because what happened here is, I mean, you put digital as one discussion today, so let's involve other policy making for the SMEs. So taking that also as an example. So we have always noticed that various ministry, various agencies, they all know the importance of SMEs. They always want to help the SMEs by actually implementing their own so-called helps of policy. So without actually going through a concerted effort. So that itself, I think it need to be strengthened. Number one, is my message to the entire government machinery. So then the other areas that we need to really look at is the SMEs are make up by a large sectors of many sectors of businesses, from the very nano, like I always now our Kongsi platform is championing the informal businesses. So I mean, we have been always talking about they are close to 1 million SME businesses, accounting to 98 point blah 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 percentage of total businesses. So I wish to highlight that this we are talking about the formal businesses, right? At least these are the businesses who have incorporated or a registration with the SSM. So there are another millions of SME sector. We call them the informal businesses. They don't register themselves with SSM. So then what happened here is the policy making, right? When we talk about if the whole country needs to go to this digitalization, go through this digitalization journey, it has to be more inclusive, right? So at many times, many policies are actually very focusing on the formal businesses, especially the bigger one, right? Because the bigger one, the medium-sized SME with 50, 100, 200 employees, 10, 20 million, 30 million annual turnover, they are more ready. They are always ready. I always say that these are the businesses who they can even go public listing if they want to. Then what about the next sector, the small size SME, which defined as 300,000 annual turnover and above, up to 5 million. These are always also, these sectors form a big segment as well. They are also quite ready for all kind of adoptions, because it's only when the micro businesses, the startup, right, start with one-man show, two-man show, with less than 300,000 annual turnover. These are the vulnerable group, you see. But this form the very large part of it, because almost 80% of our former businesses are micro businesses. So, and this is the one that we have always seen that the policy making, right, or the initiative toward this one is not so thought of, right, and very well thought of. Because actually this is one of my parting words which later I would want to share. So why not I just bring forward it now is, so by policy making is just like software developing, is it? So my message to all the technology provider, software provider here is, when we develop a software or technology for the SME businesses, it's not always what we think they need it. It is always about them. How are they going to use it? So because this is what we have seen, is the gap is too big, right? The tech guy always think that, oh, I have the best HR software, I have best payroll, I have best accounting for the SME. But if you bring it down to the SME businesses, especially the micro businesses, it's out. That it's not suitable for micro businesses at all. I mean, number one, micro businesses don't even have their own accounts department in their own business, right? They outsource it all the time. They don't even know what is accounting software because they leave it to the outsourced accountant to handle. But if we want them to embark on this digitalization, so what is that we need? So this is where the policy kicks in. So policy has to be broken into the level of the SME, the sizes of the SME businesses. Then only we think ultimately the inclusiveness will be there because it is so unfair all the time. These micro, formal and informal businesses, they are always left out, you see. I mean, is there a software? Today I may ask for makcik Kia who sell pisang goreng, right? What software are we talking about? I mean, the most that makcik Kia can use is probably WhatsApp to WhatsApp her accountant. I mean, she doesn't even have an outsourced accounting, right? So, but I mean, to be a fully digitalized nation, we need to include them because there are millions of these roadside sellers doing businesses, right? This is where I hope in future, right? Besides Gongxi, I mean, I hope there are many other providers as well. So please look into this segment, and I hope also to Encik Samso, right? Please look into this last segment because there are millions of these people. They need help as well. Thank you.
So I would like to add to Mr. Wayne, and good question by the poster just now. My digital is a digital transformation plan for the biggest employer in the country. Therefore, there should be also an equivalent My Digital for the smallest employers in the country. And the My Digital for the smallest employers for the country is on the shoulders of the CEO of the SMEs, the Chief Everything Officer. The Chief Everything Officer for micro SME is also the Chief Digital Officer for the micro SME. So if you don't have that digital blueprint for your organization, then you will eventually adopt somebody else's digital blueprint, which may not be suitable for you. So as the Chief Everything Officer, you should either have the skills, or if you don't, like I mentioned just now, rely on someone younger. Don't get someone older because they will not do the digital for you. Get someone younger that can become the proxy CDO, Chief Digital Officer for your MSME. I'd like to also emphasize on the same point where the My Digital Blueprint for the government also emphasizes that the government must have 796 chief digital officer within the government. That is the aspiration by the government. So therefore, you as the MSME, you should also have a similar aspiration for your own organization, whether you are one-man show, five-man show, 500 people, it doesn't matter. You are the CEO and also the CDO. So you should write your own My Digital plan, because otherwise, if you don't have your own, you will end up using somebody else's.
Sure, just want to add a little bit. Yeah, Wayne mentioned about the micro SMEs. This is also the segment that myself, Azian, and Sam Majid would like to engage more. We understand that Makcik Kia jual goreng pisang, example. We have seen a few, those similarly with Makcik Kia able to adopt technology and able to sell goreng pisang more if they when they use data technology. So we have a program together with MCMC and also BSN. We're going to launch it next week, inshallah, to address the micro SME, to engage with them and to show them. I have this personal experience when we conducted a digital class in Terengganu. So all these makcik coming to my program. They bring their, of course they have their handphone. They use handphones, they use internet. But one thing that I noticed, even we share a very basic digital solution. It's just to put their kedai on Google Map. Because when you are on Google Map, you are searchable, whether Google search or any Waze example. Hence, we show them how to do a drop pin on the Google Map. As simple as that. But it takes time, Wayne. That's why we need to have stamina, Sam, and also and we need to have stamina to reach out to these micro SME and to help them. I'm not worried about so much on the Klang Valley, but I worry about the from micro SME from other states, which is we need to have more engagement. That's why for TM our aspiration to build up all our competency with regard to our SME consultant and our people on the ground to reach out to this micro SME and to teach them at least a basic with regards to put their business online. At least a simple example like I mentioned just now, to put their business on Google Map. At least they are searchable, right? So these are the things that we are doing. But step by step, we cannot go, suddenly talking about AI to them and talking about the SAP or ERP solutions. But we go step by step, knowing the fact that it will take a time. But this is where the mindset game is very important. How to show them digital is easy. Senangnya digital. Yeah. So this is, I think, the responsibility of all the ecosystem partner that we have today to reach out and to tell them it's easy to use. Like you mentioned, Sam, just now, we are not digital native. We are, migrants. Then that need to have more engagement and more programs together with all the partners to reach out to these micro SMEs. Thank you, Shah.
Okay, thank you so much, Yusman, Mr. Wayne, and also Encik Sam. So taking cue from the feedback from all three of you, basically the conclusion would be having a clear digital blueprint and leveraging on digital natives and combining it with digital need-based policy based on the different segments of the SMEs and also the digital consultancy as mentioned by Yusman, by TM. Definitely, inshallah, we can help turn the micro SMEs into medium and large SMEs. So perhaps the Makcik Kia selling the goreng pisang currently can be Makcik Kia, selling globally, the goreng pisang globally to the whole world. Yeah, so definitely that is the step that we want to do to help to grow the SMEs in Malaysia, because SMEs are definitely the growth engine for Malaysia, one of the growth engines for Malaysia. All right, we're reaching towards the end of the session. Before we end the session, perhaps we would like to invite the panelists again for some wise words for and final sharing and advice to all of the audiences today. So perhaps from Encik Sam, so what's the next wave or trend in digitalization for the SMEs to anticipate?
The short answer is AI, artificial intelligence, and MSMEs must not underestimate the pervasiveness of AI. It can overwhelm you. It can be something that you may not understand, so therefore you don't know how to handle AI that comes inside technology that is being sold or being purchased everywhere. If you are the CEO, the chief everything officer, you may need to upskill by understanding what is AI. If you don't have the capacity, susah sangat, topik dia terlampau complicated, get a young person to be in charge of the upcoming AI that will flood the ecosystem in many ways. Malaysia is part of the global network of many things technology, but we need to be owners, tuan punya of AI technology, not just end users. Because if we are end users, then we do not reap the full benefit of what AI can do, especially for MSMEs. My parting words will also be that AI contributes towards my wording just now. Do not make humans do robot work. Robots do robot work. Humans do human work. AI supports human in doing human work.
Okay, thank you so much, Encik Sam, for the wise words. Definitely AI is something that all the SMEs out there needs to look out for, and for you to start getting more knowledge on it and looking at ways on how you can add value to organization via AI. And if let's say it's something which is a bit too hectic or heavy for you, as Mr. Sam has mentioned just now, you can leverage on the digital natives out there to help you to drive growth through AI. Okay, so the next wise words will be from Encik Muhammad Azian. Maybe you can share what are the key things that SME needs to do before seeking financial support from BSN to foster their digital transformation journey. So over to you, Encik Azian.
Okay, thanks, Sharliza. This is actually slightly out of topic, maybe, but however, since we have been dealing with so many MSME, is actually take the opportunity. I think we have a huge respect for this group of people because, like Mr. Wayne Lim said just now, it contributes about 80 or 90% of the total SME in Malaysia. I think they are the hearts of the economy. When things are the smaller things not moving, don't expect the big things will move. What I can say here, of course, due to this situation currently, the economic situation, whereby some of them is already have a financial facility with the banks or anywhere. Take this opportunity to visit all the banks should you unable to make any financial obligation. Take the opportunity of this repayment assistance available, because why is actually important, because to ensure that your track record in serving your financial obligation is still remain intact, because this is among the key factor that to be addressed during our evaluation and processing. Yes, we know that some business have been impacted, but there are also avenue for them to seek for assistance in terms of repayment assistance, like moratorium and so forth. And on top of that, I think I would like to say that I think the SME know better about their business, because I mean the rest, like any other government agencies or implementing agencies, is just there to assist, but to move forward, to go or not to go, it depending on the individual themselves. But like we said, that if we have the grant to move into digital, but the SME is in resist to go. I mean, nothing much we at the agency can do much about it. But the thing is that again, I think, like I mean, during my first session just now, we were saying that nobody have ever encountered this situation before. None of us. Like we say that the bird flu is already what, 1912, 1918. Nobody still alive now. So this is totally new experience for everybody. So that take this opportunity, move forward with the new norms, maybe go digital the best way. Then by all means, go out there and search for new things to do in terms of to onboard digital in your business activities and so forth. That's what I can say from our end here. Thank you, Shalida, back to
Okay.
you.
Okay, thank you so much, Azian, for the wise words. Basically, I agree with you that the heart of Malaysia, SMEs are the heart of Malaysia, and definitely it's very important for the SMEs to leverage on the support given by the financial institutions so that they can help grow their business better. Thank you so much, Azian. And to Mr. Wayne Lim, maybe you can share your parting words before we leave the webinar today, with being the main voice of the SMEs in Malaysia. Over to you, Mr.
Yeah,
Wayne.
thanks for the opportunity. So I know to all my fellow SME friends, I know it has been a very, very difficult time, right? So it seems that there's no end to this pandemic. So nobody seems to know when is the economy going, the sector is going to be fully open. But I mean, as entrepreneur, so I would like to share with you that we all are in the same situation. We may not be on the same boat because we are all running different type of businesses, but we are on the same situation. This is at least the bright side of looking at the situation, right? So nobody gets an advantage here, right? The lockdown happens to almost every one of us. So no doubt that as an entrepreneur, we always think for the best. We have this never say die attitude. We want to go all out, but the wise thing to do is, if there's nothing much can be done at this situation, take a step back. Nothing wrong to take a step back, right? Nothing wrong to scale down. Nothing wrong to cut costs. Nothing wrong. That's nothing wrong at all, because never in our life, we think of this situation will happen to all of us, right? But of course, since last year until now, the best time of the coming months ahead of us, it is the best time for us to relearn, right? Especially what is there to learn? Digitalization. Because now we have evidently see this is the most important journey that for the businesses now and for the future. So at least we take this opportunity to learn everything about technology, software, digital. So when the economy fully open up, so we are all ready, right? So it cannot be worse than this anymore. I think we already hit almost the bottom of it. So the future surely will be brighter for all of us. So the country needs you, SMEs.
Okay, thank you so much for that very, very touching words and very, very wise advice as well. And so it's all about relearning. It's about, taking a step back to assess and evaluate where we are today, and then to embrace new technology, so that when the economy opens up, you are ready to go out there and to make the most of it. All right, thank you so much to all the panelists today for all your sharing, for all the feedback and the amazing answers. I think all of us here have learned a lot from all of you, and we really, really appreciate the insights that were given by all of you. And today we have, as I mentioned just now, we have the winners for our session based on the Q&A session just now. Where the winners
Before that,
Oh, okay.
I think there are one question I need to address that. He said
Oh,
that we
okay.
not take the questions from micro SME in Johor. So just to respond to
Mm-hmm.
that, Mr. Aidil, Mr. Aidil from JNR, he asked question if there's no fiber Unify at his area, how he can get or apply for this grant. So, like Sam Ajit mentioned, the 97% of coverage of 4G later on, if not fiber, probably we have mobile there. And we're going to introduce mobile as well later on. And when we have that, then we check whether that our coverage, in your location. And please engage with our team in Johor so that they can, address your needs. Yeah, Mr. Ideal.
Yeah.
Yeah, just put in our chat room that no one answer his question, but I just want to address that
Oh,
quickly.
okay. So sorry for that. All right.
so,
Okay.
so
Okay.
sorry
Thanks
for
so
that.
much,
Yeah.
Isman.
Okay,
No
Shah, go
problem.
ahead
Thank
for
you.
the
Yeah.
winners. Yeah, just reach out.
Okay.
Our SME Johor will reach out to you and then help you on that. Yeah. Thank you,
All
Ideal, for
right.
that question. Go
Yeah,
ahead,
thank you so
Asha.
much. Yeah, thank you so much, Yusma, for answering that question. Also, thank you, Ideal, for asking that question as well. Definitely, our team in Johor will assist you in the best possible way, so that you'll be able to get your service and your grant as well. Okay, so for the winners today, we have four winners actually. So the first winner for the best question, so we'll be getting Samsung Galaxy Tab A7 is Encik Muhammad Faizur from Singus Technologies. Okay, so congratulations to Encik Muhammad Faizur. And the second winner will be
Thank
getting
you so much.
white. All right, so congratulations to you. Hope you'll
Thank
enjoy the
you. Thank
Samsung
you.
Galaxy Tab. Yeah, all
Definitely,
right.
definitely.
Okay. So the second best question goes to Encik Muhammad Shafizan from Putra and Associates. So he'll be winning the wireless headphone. So congratulations to Encik Shafizan. And the third best question goes to Encik Shah Badri from Malaysia Timber Industry. So he'll also be getting a wireless headphone. So congratulations to Encik Shah Badri, and the final winner is Mr. Lim, who also be getting wireless headphones. So congratulations to all of the winners. Hope you will enjoy the gifts. Our team will contact you on the delivery of these gifts to all of you. And we have actually reached the end of the session. So we really would like to thank all our panelists for the amazing answers, amazing sharing and insights, and also to all the customers out there who are listening to this webinar, and to those who are also involved with the SME Empower webinar. So it's now the photo time. So we would like all of you to open up your camera, and we'll take around 3 shots so that we can get the best shot from everyone. Yeah, so open your camera now, and we'll take the photo. Okay, so has everyone opened the camera? but I cannot see anyone from here. So maybe we can take the photo now. So smile. Okay. So that's the first shot. Okay, so we'll take the second shot. Maybe you can just say thumbs up. Just do thumbs up or say anything that you want to say. Yeah.
Say
Okay, thank
unify.
you. Oh, say unify. Okay, lah, say unify.
Unify,
Okay.
Unify.
Unify. All right, and then the third one would be freestyle.
Freestyle. Win. Freestyle.
My freestyle is always like this. Okay, thank you so much for all your time, for everyone, for all the efforts and so on. By the way, don't forget we'll be having another webinar on the 9th of September, and do let us know the topic that you would like to hear and you would like us to discuss with the respective panelists in the chat box. So you can also do not forget that we have an amazing campaign right now. We have our SME digital grant, and we also have a campaign where you can stand a chance to win amazing prizes, including a 4-wheel drive Ford Ranger, and from our Sign Up and Drive Away campaign, and amazing other prizes such as laptops and smartphones. So don't forget to sign up to our services and also to our digital grant. And you can join our UBC community, and you can check out our UBC page and find out more on our latest activities. And do contact your SME consultant in your respective states about our latest promo and services. And till then, please stay safe and take care, and have an amazing day ahead. Thank you very much, everyone. Bye.